You're listening to Sacred Grit, where ancient paths meet modern strength. We're here to reconnect with the earth, honor the ancestors, and build spiritual practices that don't just feel magical. They make you strong. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just roots, ritual, and resilience.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ash, your grounded seeker, and with me is Freya, our empowered mystic. Today, we're diving into what it means to practice paganism in the modern world.
That's right, Ash. Modern paganism isn't about living in the past. It's about integrating ancient wisdom into our contemporary lives. It's about finding the sacred in the everyday.
Exactly. It's about honoring the cycles of nature, connecting with the elements, and building a practice that resonates with who you are today.
So, how do we build a pagan practice with backbone? It's about commitment, discipline, and authenticity. It's not just about collecting crystals or lighting candles, it's about showing up consistently.
Right. It's about creating rituals that have meaning for you, studying the traditions that resonate, and being willing to do the inner work. And as we all know, sometimes that work is hard. Really hard.
And it's also about community. Finding others who share your path can provide support and inspiration.
Okay, let's talk about some challenges modern pagans might face. One is dealing with misconceptions. People might not understand your path, and that's okay.
Absolutely. It's important to stay true to your practice and not feel the need to justify it to others. Another challenge is information overload. There's so much out there, it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it can. And with that, let's take a quick break and come back and talk about integrating this with our lives. So, Freya, we've talked about the broader strokes of modern paganism. But let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do we weave our spiritual practices into the fabric of our daily lives?
Great question, Ash. It's all about finding those moments in our day where we can infuse mindfulness and intention. Let's start with the morning routine.
Absolutely. For instance, when I brush my teeth, I focus solely on that activity. I pay attention to the sensation of the bristles, the taste of the toothpaste, and the sound of the brushing. It's a simple act, but it grounds me in the present moment.
That's a fantastic example. Similarly, when I make my morning tea, I treat it as a ritual. I observe the steam rising, inhale the aroma, and feel the warmth of the cup in my hands. It's a meditative experience that sets the tone for my day.
Moving on, let's talk about mindfulness during meals. How do you approach that?
Mindful eating is a powerful practice. I take the time to appreciate the colors, textures, and flavors of my food. I chew slowly, savoring each bite, and express gratitude for the nourishment. It transforms a routine meal into a sacred experience.
I do something similar. I also try to eat without distractions. No phone, no TV, just me and my meal. It helps me connect with my body's hunger and fullness cues, promoting better digestion and satisfaction.
Now let's discuss meditation. Some people think it requires a special setup or a lot of time, but that's not necessarily true.
Exactly. Even a few minutes of focused breathing can make a difference. I often practice the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. It's calming and can be done anywhere.
I love that method. Another approach is body scanning, bringing awareness to different parts of the body, noticing sensations without judgment. It's a great way to release tension and become more present.
Speaking of presence, how do you incorporate mindfulness into mundane tasks?
I find that chores like washing dishes or folding laundry can become meditative when done mindfully. I focus on the sensations, the warmth of the water, the texture of the fabric, and let go of any racing thoughts.
That's a great point. I also practice mindfulness during my commute. Instead of stressing about traffic, I observe my surroundings, notice the sky, the trees, and even the rhythm of my breath.
Let's not forget about journaling. Reflecting on our thoughts and experiences can deepen our self-awareness.
Absolutely. I often write about my dreams, emotions, and any synchronicities I notice. It helps me track my spiritual journey and recognize patterns.
Lastly, let's touch on becoming a better version of ourselves. How does your practice support personal growth?
My spiritual practice encourages me to live with intention and integrity. It reminds me to be compassionate, to listen deeply, and to act in alignment with my values.
Well said. For me, it's about embracing continuous learning and being open to transformation. My practice challenges me to confront my shadows and cultivate inner strength.
Incorporating these practices into daily life doesn't require drastic changes. It's about bringing awareness and intention to the present moment.
Exactly. By doing so, we not only enrich our spiritual path, but also enhance our overall well being.
Wow, that was a good chat. Thank you for that. But I need a little break.
For those looking to deepen their practice, there are some great resources out there. As we go through them, I will start keeping a list of them on our site.
Podcasts, online communities, and local groups can also provide guidance and connection. Just remember to approach everything with discernment. We always want to keep in mind that not everything on Google is true. Now that that is out of the way, we've received some thoughtful questions from our listeners, and one that stood out is,
How do I let my spiritual practice evolve naturally without feeling like I'm doing it wrong?
that's a profound question, and I'm sure many of us have grappled with it.
Absolutely, Ash. It's a common concern, especially when starting out or transitioning into new phases of your spiritual journey. There's often this pressure to get it right, but spirituality isn't a one size fits all path.
Right. It's more like a winding river than a straight road. Your practice should reflect your personal growth, experiences, and insights. It's okay if it changes over time. That's a sign of evolution, not failure.
Exactly. For instance, when I began my practice, I was deeply into structured rituals and ceremonies. They provided a foundation and a sense of discipline. But as I grew, I found myself drawn to more spontaneous and intuitive practices, like meditative walks in nature or journaling my dreams.
I can relate. My journey started with a focus on ancestral worship and traditional rites. Over time, I incorporated elements from other traditions that resonated with me, like mindfulness meditation and energy work. It's about finding what aligns with your current state of being.
And it's important to remember that it's okay to outgrow certain practices. Just because something served you in the past doesn't mean it's required forever. Letting go can be just as spiritual as holding on.
Well said. It's also beneficial to periodically reflect on your practices. Ask yourself, does this still serve me? Does it bring me closer to my spiritual goals? If not, it's perfectly fine to adjust or explore new avenues.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different practices, read diverse spiritual texts, attend various workshops or gatherings. Exposure can lead to discovery, and discovery can lead to a more authentic practice.
Absolutely. And remember, there's no spiritual police judging your journey. It's personal, intimate, and unique to you. Trust your intuition and give yourself permission to evolve.
To our listeners, embrace the fluidity of your spiritual path. Celebrate the changes, the growth, and even the uncertainties. They're all part of the sacred journey.
Thank you for that beautiful insight, Freya. And thank you to our listener for such a meaningful question. Keep them coming, folks. Your questions guide our discussions and help us all grow together.
Modern paganism is a journey of self-discovery, connection, and growth. It's about finding your unique path and walking it with integrity.
Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Trust your intuition, stay curious, and embrace the journey.
That's right.
Thanks for walking the path with us. If you liked today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a wild soul who needs it.
And remember, whether you're lighting a candle or lifting a sword, grow
Grow
deep,
deep,
stand strong, stay sacred.